It is Guy Movie Friday.
Friday,
We're not talking about the
Friday.
movies Fridays. Today we are going to talk about
We should
the
though. One
Warriors, not
day we should talk
Warriors.
about them.
We're talking about the Warriors.
The
Now, this is a
Warriors.
movie from 1979.
It is.
It's about
It
a
is.
gang in New York City. Well, Coney Island to be specific. That's where they were from. But they were going to get together in New York City with this thing with all these gangs to meet up. So they were supposed to send 7 delegates from each gang to go to this one place where they were. It was a truce, and they were going to go see a guy named Cyrus, who
That's
was
right.
head of the largest gang in New York City at the time. And all hell consists of breaking loose. Yes. Well,
Warriors,
before we get there,
come out and play. Now look,
yes.
man. This movie. I remember watching this movie. I came home one night. It was real late, and it was just. This is how I came across this movie. And the weird thing is, this is how I came across a lot of movies. I happen to just be flipping through the TV, and I see this thing, and I can't remember what scene it was. They were walking around, or they were getting ready to fight another gang, and to me, stuff like that always interests me. So I'm watching it. I'm watching it. Next thing you know, man, time has gone by, and I'm watching this whole movie, and I'm like, man, this is a really good movie. It it talks about it's about rival gangs and things like that, but they're not like your typical gangs of what you'd know now, right?
Yeah.
Um, the gangs are all different kinds of gangs. Some of them are dressed like baseball players and they run around with bats and crushing people's
Painted up
heads and
faces and
yeah, and painted
yeah,
up. It's like they're all different and they all have certain territories. And this whole movie is about these 7 guys and they're crossing through certain territories trying to get to this like
right.
overall big gang meeting.
No, actually, what they're trying to do is get back home. Because what happened was when they went to this gang meeting, another gang shot this leader,
Oh
Cyrus.
yeah, that's right. That's
All
right. Cyrus got shot.
yeah,
That's right.
and all hell broke loose. And the
Head
guys who
trauma.
shot him blamed it on the Warriors. They said the
That's right.
Warriors did it. So the Warriors are doing this thing, and they call it bopping. Bopping means fighting your way back to get home.
Right.
But I grew up called bopping, but in the 70s, I guess that must have been a thing. So
Yeah.
instead of banging, they called it bopping. So these guys were trying to get their way back to
But
Coney Island, where they were from. They were trying to get back to the train just to get home.
for sure, and and you got to remember it was also in New York, so the slang's probably a little different too, right?
Yeah. And it was the
It's just
70s. So
yeah,
now this whole time, these guys there's a underground radio station that's telling people, hey, we're looking for the Warriors. People listen to the radio for these little signals. All these gangs are trying to catch the Warriors. So they're trying to get home safely, but and getting separated. One of them dies. There's just a lot of stuff going on. But it
yeah,
is totally a dude's movie from the 70s. If you haven't seen it,
yeah,
even now, I have watched it. I just literally watched it like a week
dude,
ago.
dude, it's a really good movie. It doesn't. It seems like it would be corny, right? It seems like it'd be just like cheesy, but it's a really good story, and it makes a lot of sense. And all the different characters and and everything that they portray in that movie, it's pretty good. Yeah, obviously it's still it's still a movie, but it ends up being a really good movie, a really good guy movie. um it's got good fight scenes. The narrator, the DJ radio, the
Yeah,
lady, remember,
yeah,
she'd always say something every time they were crossing into a new territory or fought their way out of one.
well,
It
yeah,
was it. Yeah, it was like there's this whole like other culture going on in the city that only certain people knew about. It was really cool the way they put that story together.
yeah. And the
If they ever
music from it,
remade that movie, they'd have to work really hard to make it good.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean, and not make it too stupid. They'd have to like really put the time into it and make it good.
No, and it had great music in it too. There was really good music from the 70s that was in it. And some of the 70s during that time didn't have very much good music, but they took some really good music from certain times and put it into that movie, which made it pretty cool. Now, not too long ago, I met Michael Beck, who played Swan. and
Oh, nice,
James Rimmer, who played Ajax in the movie.
nice.
So Swan was the leader because he was war chief once they got separated, and the other guy was Ajax, and he always wanted to fight.
Right.
Ajax wanted to fight all the time. Either that or he wanted to chase women. That was just two things. He either wanted to fight or chase women. So
Because what else do you do when you're in a
yeah,
gang?
yeah. So
Fight,
they
fight or
they
chase women.
now this movie is fantastic, and if you like just off the wall stuff from the '70s, it's weird. The gangs are weird. They dress a little. They each gang you could tell who they were because they dressed like they were in this little group or clique of some
Absolutely,
sort.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
You know.
And but again, that plays to the the off the wall creativity of that movie, right? And that's what I was talking about earlier, right? It seems like it's going to be cheesy, but it ends up being a really good story, and it's just it's really good, man. And then you start thinking about it, you're like, man, this is really cool because it's not like your typical gang movie.
Yeah.
It's not like your typical gang movie where it's almost organized crime related and things like
Yeah.
that. It's like it's not about they don't really get into like drug dealers and and things like it's all about territorial things and gangs trying to get along with one another and this one gang trying to make it home.
Yeah. And the best part of it is a lot of stuff that we have that are in gifs and memes and stupid things and stuff that's in some rap music when they say, "Can you dig it?" all came
Right.
from
From
that
the
movie.
Warriors. That is correct.
Exactly. And sometimes you'll find and people be passing this thing around and never even know where this came from. And that one
Yeah.
part, Warriors come out and
Come out and play.
play, where he's clicking those bottles on his fingers. He got
Yep.
put some empty bottles, glass bottles, and he's clicking them. That's all from this movie. A lot of times people have heard these things, but have
Yep.
never realized where they came from. And it comes specifically from this movie. And I have loved this movie since I was a kid. I think the first time I saw it, I was probably at least 10. So, and me
I
and my
wasn't
buddies,
10.
we loved it. We talked, it was on regular TV. We didn't get to see it was in a movie, so they hacked out all the,
I'm a,
rated R parts. But
so I'm just gonna tell you, I didn't see this movie probably till early '90s. Is when I finally saw this. Well, I saw this movie and it was so good, man. I loved it then, and I think it's great now. I think it's a really good movie now. So if you haven't seen it and you're going, well, it's from the '70s, watch this movie. Watch this movie because take it from me, it's a good movie, and I love all movies, old and new. But this movie's really good. You can't miss this one.
and I introduced my friends to it in the '90s, and a lot of them never seen it. We were all the same. Some of us were same age, and I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" And
That
now
would be crazy.
it's one of their favorite movies as well. This is just one of those guy movies that just is. Don't go into it expecting anything. Just enjoy it for exactly what this movie is.
Exactly. Exactly. That's all you do. That's all you don't overthink it. Don't go, oh man, like who would do that? It doesn't matter. Don't worry about any of that. Don't worry about any of that. You're watching a movie, man. Get into the movie. Lose yourself in it and get past it. Follow that story. You'll enjoy it, man. It's really good. It's really good. It's a great guy movie.
Yeah.
Guy
And
movies.
yeah, until next time, guys, I'm Lee.
He's Lee. I'm Fayaz.
We're the Trauma Guys. And
So
don't
see.
forget, leave a comment below. Give us some information about what you think about the Warriors. If you haven't seen it, cool. If you have, leave a comment. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe. Do whatever you need to do, but just do something.
Do
Till
something.
next
Let us
time.
know, man. And if you got a movie that you want us to cover, watch. Maybe we haven't seen it and you've seen it. Man, we'll check it out, man. We like movies. We like watching stuff, right? We like talking about them too. So you think you got a good guy movie we can review, man? Let us know. We definitely want to know.
All right. Till next time, guys. Later.
Oh, I should probably turn my camera off.